Hello viewers, in this video we are going to understand spiral software development lifecycle model. The software development lifecycle passes through various phases, and as discussed in the previous video, we have seen the various phases in the software development lifecycle. The previous video was also explaining the linear model, waterfall model. In this video we'll be considering one of the iterative models, that is Boehm's spiral model. Let us recap what are the various phases through which software development lifecycle passes through. The first phase is called as requirement analysis, in which the customer is communicated and the software developer or engineer will be understanding what are the various requirements. These requirements will be put into system design, and then the development will be happening, coding will be taking place, and the unit testing will be also done. Then the next phase is installation of this system or the software, as well as going for integration testing. Implementation and commissioning is nothing but deployment of the software what is developed at the customer's place. Let us try to understand or recap the linear model's limitations. If the requirements are well understood and if they are unlikely to be changed radically during the development process, the linear model will be suggested. If the development of the system is in the known domain of the software engineer, the linear model will be suggested. And if the software engineers have a large experience of the software development, linear model will be suggested. Let us try to understand the spiral model, which is of iterative type. In this type of model, the requirement analysis, the system design, development, coding and unit testing, as well as assessment is repetitively done. Boehm's spiral model will be passing through these various phases, that is phase number 1 to 6, which are nothing but analysis, planning, risk analysis, system designing, construction through development engineering, customer interaction and evaluation, as well as modifications which are suggested. What happens in the first phase or first version is the customer is communicated, his requirements are understood, they are put into design and they are implemented. Then the model will be, then the software will be given to the customer for evaluation. The customer communicates back to the developer and suggests the modification. Now these modifications will be additional features or facilities which are required to be provided in the software, or these could be changes in what is being actually implemented. So we can find that from version 1 to version 2 to version 3 and so on, the software system what is being developed will be catering to more and more functionalities, or will become effective and efficient in solving the requirements which are put forward by the customer. We will now understand the selection process of models which are used for development, or selection of process models. It is based on the customer interaction. If the customer is going to be available for discussion or interaction more number of times, spiral model will be suggested. If the risk for preparation of the software is high, the spiral model will be suggested. If it is very low, then we will be considering the linear model. Or in other words, whenever the software development has got minimal risk, we will be using the linear development. Understanding and application skills of the software engineer, if they are very high, spiral model will be used. So let us try to compare the linear and the spiral model. The linear model will be used when the nature of the requirements is simple and universal, so the software engineer will understand them very easily. If the nature of the requirements is very complex, or if at all they are customer specific, the software engineer may not be able to understand them. So what is done is they are broken into some small pieces or in small sections, and the software will be developed. If the customer interaction is happening once or twice or only at the initial stage, linear model will be suggested. If the customer will be available for discussion and for suggestions throughout the development, spiral model will be used. The linear model will have zero or very less risk of development. In the spiral model, the risk is very high. The reason is the technology in which the software will be used, or the domain knowledge which is not very clear or which is very specific, the risk automatically will be higher in the spiral model. If the technology used is very well understood or universally understood by everyone, then the linear model will be used. If the technology used for development of the software as well as for implementation of the system is new, and if involves multiple types of technologies integration, then the spiral model is used. The focus of linear model is on getting the solution, while in the spiral model the focus is on customers' participation as well as the various tools which are used for development. In the class when we are going to meet, we'll be finding out how a software for students' information system for a college is to be developed.